What's up everyone, Solemn Sunday here, and it has been a doozy getting this video out. I've been recording for like an hour, and it's only supposed to be like 10 minutes. And man, it's been a rough one. If you don't know, I've recently had a baby, and he has learned to roll over, and so he is hard to keep the right direction when he's sleeping, which has been stressful, and he has been crying on and off. So it's a bit of a rough one trying to get this out, but I wanted to record this tonight because I've been putting it off, and I want to share this game with you guys. This is V Rising. It is one of my favorite new games. It is an action RPG where you play as a vampire. And it's, if you aren't sure what an action RPG is, that's kind of a wide genre. Think Diablo, think Titan Quest, think Grim Dawn, that sort of thing. Last Epoch, Path of Exile. That's sort of the deal. But imagine now that it's got a little bit of a survival crafting bend to it. Now I know what you're probably thinking, man, I'm sick of survival crafting games. Me too, man, but I think this game does a really good job of having a near perfect balance of those elements. See, most of the stuff, if not all of the stuff you can get, is used from the early game straight up till the very end. And so it's got a good economy. I'm not really interested in fighting guys because it keeps distracting me from what I'm saying. But it's got a really good economy of using different items. It feels good. You don't ever feel like you have chests and chests of useless junk, at least not in my opinion. It all feels valuable and useful, even going back to earlier game areas and whatnot. And so, if you were to play this game, what is the best part, right? Why do I like this game beyond the mechanics of, it's a survival crafting action RPG, and I like action RPGs? Why do I like it? What makes this one stand out? And that is that it almost feels like a light MMO to a degree. And that's why I'm talking about it today, is I've been hosting a server. Now, originally, I set up the server because, as you know, I said it before, I had a baby. It's really hard to line my schedule up with my buddies. I wanted to play with my buddies. Impossible to line our schedules up. And so I said, you know what, I'll drop a couple bucks on it and host a server, rent a server. We'll play it online. And so I did that, and I was walking around, and I thought, man, all of these plots, all of these castle areas where you can build a castle, because you can build a castle in this game, all of these areas feel so empty because there's only like 4 of us and we all have a castle, and there's like I don't know, like 80 plots or something. There's a lot. And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna post the link to the server in the YouTube Discord that I have. If you aren't there, you can come check it out. We talk about games, we play games together. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of V Rising now. I thought, you know what, I'll post it there. So I posted it, and nobody had the game. Not one person had the game, at least not that replied. And so I said, all right, I guess I'm gonna make it public. So I went ahead, I posted it a couple different places, and tons and tons of people have joined now. It didn't start that way. It was just a couple people, and then this last month, it's on like the 3rd month now, it's just absolutely popped off, and it's huge now. Here, I'll show you. All of these red spots are people's castles. Now, some of them might be in groups of up to 4, but they're still people's castles. And so now when I'm walking through here, I'm not seeing all these empty plots that could be castles. I'm seeing all these cool castles, right? And you can do a lot with the building in this game. Sorry, my cat was making a fuss. Now, check this out. This is one of the coolest places. And look, one of my players actually joined me here. This is one of the coolest places on the server. Look at that. You can do so much cool stuff with the building here, and it is insane. This is just all sorts of stuff. And I do want to throw out there, if you check the Steam page and you're like, wow, this game's got a lot of DLC, it's got like 2 or 3 packs. They are all customization for this sort of stuff. Customization for your character, and in here, building statues and whatnot. It is not anything for the main game that you buy the game, you get the full game. It is what, you can play with everybody, it doesn't matter, etc. I want to make sure I throw that out there because it can be intimidating when you see a game with the price of all the DLC. You know how it is. You get it. But no, it is the base game. Look at that chess table. Anyway, it's the base game. You get everything. DLC is cosmetics. But you can build these different castles and stuff, and that's sort of your home base. And you can move it, which is really cool. It's very player friendly. You can take all your stuff with you. Some stuff is going on down here. Hang on, hang on. I'd like to help out. That's pretty fun. Anyway. Very, very cool. Really neat interactions like that. I love seeing interactions like that. But as I was saying, you can build your castle. You can move it around without worrying about losing all your stuff. It's all very player friendly. And something that's really cool is that all of the different stuff is gated. This is where if you ask me what game this is most similar to, games I like, right? I would say it's closest probably to Valheim and Terraria. Now, obviously, it doesn't look like those games, but mechanically, you've got this massive boss list, and I want to say it's like 55 bosses, and all of them gate your progression in some way. Like tannery, you can't make a bag until you have that. A bag is going to give you a couple more inventory slots. You can't make a crossbow till you beat Rufus the Foreman here. And all of these bosses have very cool move sets. A lot of them are really involved. Some have like bullet hell elements to them. It's very cool. It's very Diablo. It's very fun. And it's also just really unique. It's unique that it's got so many bosses that you can just go through and unlock the different stuff and upgrade your stuff slowly. It's got a really good progression to it. It's a lot of fun. So that kind of covers most of what I wanted to talk about. You saw the cool building. You saw the boss list. The boss list also, you get your spell points here and your spells. You've got, let's see, spell book. You've got all these different spells, and the spells are very balanced for PvP. This game has very, very balanced PvP. You can tell that the devs tuned the game a lot for PvP. And that was another thing that I wanted to create a server for, was I wanted to be able to have that organic PvP. A base mechanic of this game is that there's base rating. In a regular server, you'd be able to come in here, and it wouldn't matter if Gabriella Cozy Glow here, who is the builder of this, was online or not. You would be able to slaughter through this building, destroying the walls and stuff and taking stuff. And, find the coffin, boom, dead, take all the stuff, right? Very Rust, very Ark Survival Evolved, and that's just not really my style of gameplay. And so I thought, I'm going to, I do want PvP on the server, but I want people to have a safe place they can go back to when they log out. I want to have a safe place I can go back to when I log out, right? If the baby's crying, I need to be able to get out fast. I need to have a safe place that I can store my stuff without worrying about people breaking in and taking it all. And so a lot of players, it would seem, like to play that way. They like being able to have PvP out here like this when they run into each other, while still going back and building a pretty castle. And that's something else, is building, if you go on a PvP server with raiding, you're going to see a castle that is designed to be hard to break into. I hate to break it to you, those castles are not very pretty most of the time, because they aren't made to be pretty. They're not made to look like this. They're made to be hard to get into. You're not going to have... Who's throwing wolves at me? You're not going to have something that looks like this and it lasts like that. So I wanted a place people could build cool castles while still having fun PvPing. And I wanted to have castles here to even see. I wanted to have people to run into and play with, and just hang out and, make groups, hunt bosses, do that sort of stuff. There's a light roleplay element, some of them do. Pretty cool. So I hope I've covered the game well enough here to kind of give you an idea of what it's all about. Here's the build menu. I haven't talked about the build menu, but it does show you some of the options. You got all these different wallpaper options and stuff. And I can't really take credit for the community on the server because it's really kind of built itself. Everybody who's joined has been very friendly, and you know, they tell me if there's a problem and that sort of thing. And I try to handle it. I try to be very proactive, but you know, they're very. I can't take credit for the way they play because they're all very nice, very welcoming for new players, and that was also part of the goal. I wanted it to be welcoming for new players. And so if you're a new player, especially if you're intimidated by like PvP type stuff, by all means, there will be a link to the server. Come play with us. You are more than welcome to play with us. It's a lot of fun. I think you'll have a lot of fun playing it. But this is absolutely one of my favorite new games. It's just got that MMO DNA without being a big, bulky gank fest. Like, I played some Albion Online in my time, right? And I had, I want to say, like, one time, this was my defining Albion moment, right? Some dudes ran up on me in the roads, like on the roads, the crossroads, taking my stuff home. And it was like 16 guys that corralled me into the group, and they killed me, and they took the stuff that I had spent like an hour grinding. And I was like, it was a, you know, you get a, it doesn't matter who you are, you get a lot of adrenaline playing something like that. I was like shaking. I was like, oh, that was intense. And so that was kind of when I stopped playing. That was kind of when I stopped playing Albion. It gives me the same stuff I liked from Albion without. Sorry about the trees, I guess. Sorry about the trees. It gives me the same stuff as Albion, the same feelings, the same fun gameplay, without being not fun sometimes. I'm always, when I'm playing this, I'm always having fun, especially on here with the people on my server. So, thank you all very much for watching. I hope I've covered enough stuff about the game. I think I've talked about everything. You know, I've talked about the bosses, I've talked about the social element, the castles, the rating, the spell book. You get these transformation abilities. You've seen me turn into a wolf and run around and stuff. So I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope I see you here. I hope if you are from here and you've been playing on the server, I hope you have fun. I hope you've been having fun. And with all that said, I will see you next time.